Let me take you through an on-field workout I often use my professional athletes. So we're going to start with something to get ourselves ready, then a little bit of prep work. So getting ready means just kind of nice and easy. Prep work means moderately intense, and some higher intensity work that you'll see with sprints, jumps, and other more competitive like movements. So I like to start with our bare feet, so no shoes. And when we're doing this, you gotta remember when we're with no shoes, it is more intense than it is with shoes. So I typically do this in our lowest intensity portion of the warm-up, our just starting part, because we have that low intensity exposure, which then we just use our feet, we can handle. If we just play with our shoes off throughout the entire high intensity workout, your feet aren't used to those high level impacts without shoes because you play your sport with shoes. So first one we'll do is a simple in place, high knees, striking the ground comfortably with our feet. As you get going, you can add some locomotion to it, so a little bit of movement. Firm, active foot on the ground. Next one might be a little short scissor or chop run. Straight leg, quick contact, just covering a little bit of ground. And then we like to add something in lateral. So whether it's an in place shuffle, you're working dropping into positions, a hop, alternating side to side. We're working that inside leg being our contact point, or a pivot series. We're working on just sinking in to our decelerative positions, but not too aggressive on the feet. You can totally mix it up however you want. Add some rhythm work in, add some heel taps, whatever you like. That gives you a little bit of exposure, but not a huge, overly intense contact. The next part we have is our prep work. Now this is going to be mimicking our intense work. So our first stuff is we just did with our shoes on, lower intensity. Now we're taking moderate to moderate plus. And as we do this, we're going to start mimicking the actual intense movements we're going to do. So you'll see a lot of rhythm, coordination, and other movements like you might see with intensity work, but done with a lower intensity. And the really easy one to understand this is a rhythm jump. So we'll often do this in our prep, a 1-2 rhythm jump. You'll step left, right, left jump, and maybe about 50%, but we're starting to mimic some of the jumping patterns. And I'll back up so you guys can actually see me on the camera before I jump too far, just get out of view here. And you can build up the pace. So you might trot into it, easy, and trot, and big step and jump. And as you get comfy, you start to jump higher and higher and higher. That's one. Another one could be something like a change of direction. So you might be here, and we started off on our barefoot, we had a nice little shuffle. Now you might be a little more intense. We're gonna come out here, sink, shuffle down, get back, decelerate, and get back. These are exercises you can typically do for time. You can talk while you do them, so the intensity isn't absolutely insane. This is good tissue prep. And cross that back. Good, working on positions and feeling rhythm and timing. You can do this, like I said, with basically any sort of movement you want. You just dial back the intensity. So instead of doing, I can only do it for 3 reps, you can do it for time. It'll get your heart rate up a little bit, but it's not disastrously difficult. You can add in this portion here, some nervous system prep, that's what we call it. Basically super fast outputs with not maximal amount of force. So we're gonna be doing like a high knees. Instead of just doing a high knees, we might do high knees as fast as we can. Or you might find a line and you might try to get back and forth over it as fast as you can. Point of it is to go quick, fast, explosive, but not tons of force outputs, or moderate amounts of force outputs that you can do for time that gets you ready to work out. As you can hear, I'm starting to breathe heavy because it works and gets you ready. The last portion of the warm-up is actually the movement that you're trying to do for that day. So if you're doing sprints, you're doing jumps on the field, whatever the heck it is, you can pick, change the direction. It is that exercise, that specific one you're doing, done at like 80 to 85%, working into a 100% effort. I'm not gonna demonstrate them for you here today because you know what a sprint is. You know what a 5-10-5 change of direction or any sort of change of direction, anything that's maximal intensity. That is the purpose of the workout. That is like the output, performance task of the day. That's gonna be the final part of this warm-up. Why do I do that? Because I don't think your warm-up is different from your workout. Your warm-up just gets you ready to work out. So there's not like a distinction between your warm-up and a workout. It's just all one thing, being nice and fluid, leading one into the next. So enjoy it, try it out. Maybe you can be a better athlete too.